This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we have a 2004 Yukon. We have the brake and ABS lights keep coming on when we drive, and it makes you think that there's probably something wrong with the brake system, but that could be the case. More often though, it's a problem with just a ground connection that's part of that circuit, and the ground connection gets corroded or rusted over time. And it's way back in 2004. So let's see if we can show you what the display looks like. It appears over here on the left hand side of your display. It may work now. Sometimes it'll reset itself. We basically get that brake and ABS going at the same time. I think it probably did reset. But we're going to go over today how to clean the contact so that won't happen. It's very easy to do. Just take a couple of minutes. So when you get out of the car, come down, make sure you have your emergency brake on, and we're going to look at a ground connection. It's right here. It's kind of near your front left tire. There's two bolts here, and then there's a wire here and a wire here. I forget which one, but one of these is part of the circuit for your brake warning system, for your ABS brake warning system. And you can see it's developing a little bit of rust and corrosion. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these and just clean things up really good, put it back together, and that should cure the problem. But you can see basically where this is located, it's going to get some stuff on it over time, especially if you are around where there's salted roads. You're going to get some salt water up there, snow melt, and it'll start to corrode. And once it corrodes, the circuit becomes corrupted, and it'll send a false warning to the computer that there's something wrong with the brake system. There could be, again, very possible, you could check your brake fluid, but a lot of people have replaced ABS components and there's really nothing wrong with them. So check this one first, try cleaning it, and then when you turn the car back on, it'll probably reset and probably won't reoccur. So we're going to clean these right now. Alright, I got a 13 millimeter socket. I'm going to loosen this up. I'm going to loosen up the other one too. I just can't remember which one's which, but wouldn't hurt to clean them both up. And there are more ground setups on this car too. Just can't remember exactly where they're all hiding. But this one's really easy to get to, and it's a common one that has trouble. So once you get this out, you can spray some electrical cleaner there too, would be good. But I use like an abrasive wheel on my drill. You use sandpaper, steel wool. I just try to clean up that contact, and then I want to clean up the frame. And just basically you want to get any, if you see any rust, like this has a little bit of corrosion. You could also put dielectric grease in to prevent further corrosion. If you have shiny metal, the electrons can readily go to ground, and that's good. If you don't, then it can interrupt the circuit, and that can make all kinds of problems. I'm going to clean up this washer a little bit too. Alright, that's pretty much all you got to do. Put it back together. And again, putting a little dielectric grease in there, and get that at the hardware store or auto parts store would be good, because it just would take longer for there to be more corrosion. Suppose once you get it on there nice and tight, you could also spray paint over it. Just the paint would prevent oxygen and salt and other things from touching the metal, which could create more corrosion. So we're going to repeat the same thing, just basically in the other area, because I can't remember which one is which. But it's a really common problem, and this is common for the Yukon, also for the Chevy Tahoe and the Escalade, and also the Sierra. They all have kind of the same chassis or configuration. So you're just creating a nice path for that electron flow. And this will come off. Looks pretty clean underneath there though. Back side of that looks a little corroded though. Alright, put that back. Now if you put this all back together and you got everything nice and clean, and you're like, man, I'm still getting that error all the time, then you should check your brake fluid level, make sure it's okay, because that'll set off that same type of circuit. But if that still doesn't fix it, then there probably is an ABS component that's having trouble, and you have to kind of search that down, find it, and then repair it. But I think Occam's razor, you know, what's the most common, most likely explanation? Usually, in a mechanical sense, you start with the simplest, cheapest thing, and that's often the one that's failed, and then you work your way toward that more complex or more expensive thing. But you don't want to start with the worst. Like with a lot of appliances, people, when things don't work, they'll automatically assume that it's the controller, which is really expensive, and seldom times it is. This one feels even a little stripped. Might end up putting a new screw in there. It tightens, but not as tight as it should. And you do want to have a really good tight connection. The back side of that is just going into just this metal is threaded, but you know, it wouldn't hurt me to put a nut back there on both these guys and really get them tight. Let's see if I got one. Hold on to that nut with the vice grips. Yeah, that's super tight now. That should do it. Cool. Alright, so hopefully that'll help you to get rid of that error. And again, spraying this now with some paint to prevent oxidation and further salt and water from touching it, I think would be good. Some Rust-Oleum. See if that'll help. It's almost out of paint though. You got the brake ABS comes on initially. If I take off the emergency brake, should get rid of that Yeah, so that turned off. That's great. But if yours is still staying on, it would be wise to check the level for the brake fluid.
Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.